Hey yo, welcome to the wonderful world of Hungry Heath. I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt in Google Food. I love to cook. The only thing I love more than cooking is my chauffeur, the sensational Shelly Eats Steak. Together we host what I like to call the Friday Night Feast. Now this happens every Friday night, 6:30 Central. We'll cook up an entree, maybe a couple little snacks, show you how we do it, and then we spend the rest of the evening just chewing the fat with all of our friends in the Hungry Horde. Love to have you over for dinner sometime. I hope you can tune in. Today's video, as you can tell, we're in the car again. We just left the house. Somebody decided to finally wake up. She says, I let her oversleep. She said we're supposed to be at the joint already. I thought she said we would leave at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you said, well, what time should we get there? And I said, or wake me up. And I said, well, we need to get there by 9.
Oops. Well, we may run a little late.
Look,
but
there's an estate sale.
We can hit it on the way back. We got a place to be.
But we don't got no cash.
Oh, then maybe we're not gonna go. But so yeah, today's video. This is week 113 on my MS journey. We've gotten such good responses from all of our viewers. Y'all talking about how y'all love it. We're in the car. They feel like they're riding along with us. Well, we decided. Okay, what had happened was I went to the grocery store. I go every Friday and get all of our stuff for the week and pick up any last minute things we need for the Friday Night Feast. Well, I was at the H-E-B and I didn't notice it until I got back to the car. I got in and I was punching everything into my GPS and then pulling up my my radio or my podcast. I listen to podcasts when I'm driving, so I dialed it in first before I took off so everything would be tuned in. Well, as I looked up, I noticed there was a sign at the front of the store. It said True Barbecue. I was like, oh yeah, they have barbecue here. I forgot. They actually cook it on site. So I messaged her and asked her if she wanted me to grab some for lunch. And she's like, well, I guess. And she started looking at the prices and everything. She said something about, what did you say, the last time we tried it, we weren't that impressed with it? Yeah,
I was like, we tried it several years ago. Actually, when one of the H-E-B that we first saw it. And so, of course, we were like, oh, well, a new barbecue joint. We got to try barbecue. And I think we were just like, it's okay. Like, I mean, it's better than, like, a Dickey's, of course. But, I mean, shoot, anything is better than Dickey's.
Right.
And then I would say it's about on par with Rudy's. Like, we enjoy Rudy's. Like, if it's late night, because all the good barbecue joints, they sell out typically by 2 or 3. Sometimes 4 or 5, but sometimes you're wanting dinner in the middle of the week at like 6 o'clock,
and you want barbecue.
You ain't gonna find it at an actual top 50 great barbecue joint.
Not in an accredited place.
So if I wanted it, if it was like Friday night, and you were like, oh, you want some barbecue, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, pick it up, because I know I'm not going to be able to get really good barbecue at this hour. But if it's a freaking in the middle of the day, because I told him, I said, well, you can probably just go to Corkscrew right now. Or then he was like, oh, let's just go to, Saturday morning then.
Because part of the problem, that's the thing too, the food was kind of mediocre. And then the prices of it is about the same as Corkscrew, which is like in the 2-3 years in a row, they made it to the top 50 list.
Or top 10 even.
Top 10 list of, there's a magazine called Texas Monthly. Every year they put out the top 50 barbecue joints in the state, in all of Texas. 2 years running, they have made it to the top 10 list. It's really, really good, and it's right around the corner from us, y'all. We live in Spring. They are located in a section called Old Town Spring.
Yeah, which is literally like 3 miles from our house.
Right. So we're like, well, let's just go there.
Like, a lot of people have probably heard of Franklin's. Like, if you've been anywhere near Texas and you've heard of barbecue on TV, all that, you've more than likely heard of Franklin's.
Yes. So
he has been, the #1 spot several times, but actually the last couple of few years rather, he was surpassed. I mean, he's always in the top 5 because he's freaking Franklin.
Yeah.
But
he's an institution on his own.
Right. But
We have tried going several times, but the wait is so long.
Yeah,
You have to get there so early.
No, we're not about to get up at 4 in the morning to get a place in line by 5 a.m. Like, that ain't happening. But Snow, she made it, I thought, last year, the year before is number one.
Yeah.
So it's very competitive in Texas. Like, some people really take it.
It's almost a religion. It's a sport. That's what it makes better as a sport.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so,
that makes better comparison.
When we, I just hated on Dickies. I know I've seen some people say before, oh, they enjoy, sorry, my Texas in me was clenching there. They enjoy Dickies.
She can't even say it with a straight face. That's awesome.
That was really hard to say, y'all. But, when people say stuff like that, it's like, oh my gosh, you've never actually had good barbecue, have you?
So, what was I going to say next?
So, that's why, yes, again, if you're not in Texas, you probably do enjoy a Dickies or a Rudy's, or what was the other common, chain
I don't remember
that
now.
We've heard of before. But, I mean, yeah, or if you're in a place where we are just very, very fortunate that we're in Houston that has several top-notch barbecue joints that have graced the top 10 or at least the top 50. I mean, it is like barbecue mecca. I mean, Austin is the
Mecca
barbecue capital.
Yes.
But I think Houston is pretty up there. Like, we have a lot of places that really put out stellar barbecue. So we're very, very fortunate. So yeah, if you're not in a place that is close to Austin, a major urban area in Texas, then yeah, you're probably not going to have, these access to really spectacular barbecue. So that's why we are here this morning. The long story short, we never do a long story short, do we? We do a long story long.
But I wanted to throw something in here.
Oh.
The reason why we're here at 9:33 in the morning right now, they don't actually open until 11. But the trick with this place is you got to get in here early. And on the porch, on the back side of the porch, they have a little binder. A little 3-ring binder. It has several different tickets in it. So it'll hold your spot in line.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting up here early. I'm going to grab us a ticket. She's going to walk next door and get her a coffee.
Well, it's about a block or two away.
Well,
that's fine.
You're still going to walk though, right?
Yeah, because that's the good thing about Old Town Spring, because it is a very old town.
It is walkable.
It's very walkable.
Nice. We got parking.
Oh, we might be number 1, number 2.
That's awesome. Well, I'm thinking you're going to park, and I'm going to run over and get my ticket.
Yeah. And then you're going to come running back.
Well, they tell us we can't leave.
No, well, you can come in the car.
Okay.
Right?
Well, okay, then I'm going to leave the thing running, and I'm going to get the ticket. You entertain the troops.
It's the Horde. Did I park right? Because
yes.
There's no lines.
Yeah, you're perfect.
Okay. There's no lines, so, I guess I don't have to have the car running. So there's no lines in it's like gravel parking, y'all. So, yeah, we really enjoy this barbecue place called Corkscrew Barbecue. You could look it up. Apparently, I was even in high school with one of the owners. I mean, my class was like 400-something people, so I certainly did not know everybody. And I was not like the social butterfly that I am today. But, oh yeah, we're number 1. Oh, look at this. Wow, she's going to be so excited.
Yes! It's the first time we've ever done this. We got the fabled number 1, y'all. I think the best we've ever done is what, number 5?
I thought one time when we came with
Hans and Nicole,
we were 3.
Okay, that's still better. I mean, that's still good too. But number 1, y'all, and they have, yeah, right here. It says, please do not leave the parking lot with this number. Leaving the property will lose your spot in line.
Yeah.
So we're just hanging out in the car just for a few minutes. This is amazing. I've never had number 1 here.
Oh, well, you're always number 1 to me.
Yeah, but that's because you give me half a peace sign. Y'all do the math.
Oh goodness, but
Their food is amazing here, y'all.
yeah, I was telling them how apparently we were in the same class, but I didn't know who they were.
But y'all graduating class together?
Yeah, okay. But I
didn't run in the same circles.
Well, I didn't run any circles. I just ran Shelly. Right. I literally was just Shelly. So yeah. So that and Old Town Spring. This one of the places I have started outlining a video for the upcoming cruise. I want to do a video all about Houston, Spring, the Woodlands, what there is to do. So if you are coming early or you're like, well, what am I going to do Saturday? I want to have like a lot of stuff to kind of help you figure out what you want to do, right? So it was interesting researching all that. I mean, I've known of, the most common things in Houston, like we have really great museums.
We really do. And we have the Space Center, too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Space Center, but that's in the south part of Houston. Yeah. But yeah, you could go there. But I was researching here in Spring in the Woodlands, and I didn't know we had so many, because this is how outdoorsy we are. We have a lot of great parks where you could go kayaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now I think about, in the Woodlands, remember we always see those people kayaking.
That's true.
But you go kayaking,
it's
trails.
Just back of our mind, because like she said, we're not outdoorsy.
We're not outdoorsy.
I used to tell folks I'm outdoorsy in the fact that I like getting drunk on the porch.
But yeah, there's lots of actually really great parks in this area where you could do parkish stuff. I don't know all the things you do outside, but
sweat
or kayaking, nature trails. I think over by us actually is the Mercer Arboretum, where you could go and see a lot of different flora and certain wildlife, and then attached is a library, and so they'll have different like park specialists who will actually do like little tours. I was like, oh, that's good. Like, if you want to learn about, I like to go see all the plants and stuff that's in the area.
Yeah, it is pretty
That
cool.
is a pretty, I remember going there on field trips as a kid.
Yeah.
And then plus it does have a beautiful walk through the arboretum. So yeah, things like that. And then lots of water type activities in this area. I was like, wow.
That is pretty
Look
cool.
At that. We got a lot of stuff you could do outdoors. But yeah, so that was really neat exploring all that. And of course, one of the areas is right here, Old Town Spring. So Old Town Spring, of course, we've got this barbecue joint. So yeah, if you're getting in maybe late Friday, or you don't, maybe you don't get enough barbecue from us on Friday night, for the Friday night feast barbecue meetup, you could get up early on a Saturday, like, get here around 9 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you can even get here at 10 a.m.
Another pro tip about Texas barbecue. All the good places are closed on Mondays. Mm-hmm. And a select few are open on Sundays. But most of them are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
Like for this place right here, Corkscrew, they're only open Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah. And they won't tell you when they close, because it's
when they run
sell
out. Yeah, when they run out of food is when they're closing. Mm-hmm. That's why you want to hurry up and get here early.
Yeah, but in Old Town Spring, so it's I consider it a walkable old town. I mean, it is Old Town, so they do have some sidewalks. The sidewalks are not going to be, pristine like at a mall or a new shopping center. I mean,
glorious.
This town dates back to the 1840s. So it was originally a farming community, and then the railroad was built. So it's a really cool little old town. They do, ghost tours at night, so maybe you could do that Friday night. They're usually like at 11 o'clock at night. And then they, I'm not sure, I think they do a couple little tours during the day, but nice little area. It's, I would say, about 3 blocks wide and probably about 4 or 5 long.
Possibly. That sounds about right.
And
it's right next to the railroad tracks.
Right.
Well, because it's an old town. That
Yeah.
makes the most sense.
Yeah, and there's actually a brewery right here. I didn't.
Are you thirsty?
No. But no, one of a meetup group I was in, they're planning on going there in April to the brewery.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, oh, I don't even know. But
There's a lot going on in this town we don't even know about.
I know.
Because we're homebodies.
Well, it's had quite the interesting history, of
Right.
course. But lots of eclectic shops, y'all. Like, they have a wedding store, I believe, where you get, like, wedding dresses and stuff. They have, they have a Dutch store. So anything possible from Holland is in the store.
Oh,
Even,
that's cool.
I shouldn't say this, but Dutch fudge. So a lot of people go there for that. So it is a really neat store to look at, but just, trigger warning, if just the smell or sight of real fudge would kind of do you in, maybe bypass that shop. But it is a really neat shop. Like, you can't miss it. And then they've got lots of, little boutique places, candle shops, bath shops.
They have a hot sauce shop.
Yes. You hear that train? We're by the railroad. But we had to take a break because I needed my coffee before it got too late.
Because y'all, normally I get up in the morning, first thing I do is make her coffee. But she said we're coming straight over here, so she said just skip it. I'll walk over and get me some coffee. Get my steps in today.
That's right. Help me get my steps in. So it's basically, it says 0.2 miles, but it's like 2.5 blocks that away, and then like a half a block up. So walked over there, and I put it in my boarding report too, but it's called Trilogy Brew, and they have coffee and they do brewery, but they do roast their own beans, and they have some good ones. I've gotten it before. A couple HEBs in the area actually have a little Trilogy mini coffee shop inside.
So, is this the MS Journey or the History Channel about spring?
It's the History Channel this week. Back with Hungry Heath, all about spring. But anyhow, so really good. They do have some sugar-free Torani syrups. So if you do decide to come here and visit Old Town Spring, now it is kind of like at the beginning, so it's not going to be in the middle of the town. So maybe that's a place you end at, or you start there and then do your walking. But I walked over there, walked back, so I guess I walked 0.4 miles. Ooh, look at me. But I did get their brewed coffee with a shot of espresso and some sugar-free caramel and a shot of heavy cream, which they used at HEB heavy cream.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And so, yeah, very good, nice, cute little coffee shop. Well, I can't say it's little. It's a 2-story building.
Oh, wow.
And I think they had like a doctor in there, because some woman came out and there was a family in there with their 2 little kids. She goes, okay, which one am I seeing? And I was like,
wow.
oh.
It's a doctor and coffee shop.
Well,
Well, it is Old Town.
You had to have it all, right?
I mean, back in the day, too, the church and the bar were the same location.
Right. So she kind of like, I guess there's like a little room off behind the coffee barista area. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. But in the brew shop, there's several like old couches, chairs. So there's lots of places you could sit and relax. And one thing is, because it, keep in mind, since this is an old town, like the brew house, they have 4 steps up. Mm-hmm. So there is stairs up there, and I didn't look to see if there was a ramp, but it does have some steps. It does have railing, and it's actually looks like it's probably been built in the last 2 or 3 years, so at least it is a sturdy step. So it's not, some of these places, they have steps, but like it creaks as you step on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but so just keep that in mind. And Old Town Spring does have, like I say, it's walkable, but it's like you could tell different parts of the city have been updated at different times, so it's not uneven walking area. So you do have to be kind of cognizant of where you're walking, because there's dips and rises and holes, and
it's all terrain.
Right. It's from the 1840s, so we're going on almost 200 years old, so kind of expect 200 years old worth of walking area. So just to be balanced, so if you do have like mobility issues, either have your cane or just be more cognizant of how you're walking. Like, I'm very clumsy, so I'm always like,
me too, with my mobility
if you
issues.
see me, I look down. I'm not looking down because I'm like, oh, I don't like myself. No, I'm looking down because I don't want to fall.
Because she's not sure-footed.
Right.
I am the same way. Like I said, with my mobility issues.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sure, like I'm pretty connected to the earth, and sometimes I'm just way too connected because my whole body is like, let's just fall on the earth.
Right.
So I'm just, I have to just be aware and kind of like, I don't run fast. Let's put it that way. If I start to walk too fast, that's where I stumble up. You too, probably.
Yes.
Well, you walk fast.
That's just my regular gait. I mean,
yeah.
Because I'm tall.
Yeah. Oh, I was watching. YouTube gives me the weirdest recommendations. There's this guy talking about how you disappear. He's like an ex-CIA agent, and a lot of it was like if you have to go in witness protection or different things like that, or like you're in an abusive relationship and your last, he said this is like the last option. You have to disappear so that somebody basically very malicious doesn't find you. And he was saying, people think, oh, it's just, you just show up in another city and dye your hair. He's like, no, like you have to change your gait. You have to change your speech patterns. Mm-hmm. So not just the physical of dyeing the hair and stuff, but he said like
everything.
The gait, like he said, yeah, everything. Because if somebody's looking for you, they could pick up on your gait. Oh yeah, that's how they walk. Or, oh yeah, see that cadence in their voice. They'll recognize that kind of stuff. And you have to change what's your favorite thing. So if you're somebody who like loves yoga and you go yoga, you no longer love yoga.
Right.
Because that's
you have
the
to
first
become
place.
A new person.
Yeah, because that's the first place they look is, okay, what did they like to do all the time? Like me, I like to do nerdy stuff. I could never do nerdy stuff again. He said, so a lot of people that come to him as a client, he tells them all this and they're like, oh, well, no, I don't. And you can never, ever, ever talk to any of your friends, family ever again. And you basically cannot be on any social media forever. Mm-hmm. And then people are
you
like,
want to disappear? This is how you disappear.
Right. And he said that he had one client who was like, well, my husband's been lazy and hasn't worked in 20 years. And he's like, well, it's probably a lot easier just to divorce him than to try to disappear.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, you're going to have to bite the bullet. Anyhow, side note.
Swerve.
But, yeah, these are things I get on YouTube.
What, you plan on leaving me?
Well, I ain't going to disappear, that's for sure.
That wasn't a no. Did y'all notice that?
I ain't leaving you. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this guy next to us too. Okay, we're still in the parking lot here at the barbecue joint. And the person next to us to the left here kind of parked a little close, didn't they? I noticed when they opened the door.
Yeah.
And then just now, the truck just pulled into the handicap spot really, really fast, but he just left.
As he noticed it was handicapped, and I'm like, nobody in that jacked up truck is handicapped.
And then the crowd's starting to come up on the building here.
Yeah,
the porch is getting packed, and I started getting worried about it for a second. I was like, wait a minute, I'm number one. I don't have to wait. I'm going to go open the door.
Yeah, because
stand aside. The important ones coming.
There's a lot of seating here at Corkscrew.
Yes.
So there is indoors, and then there's a really wide covered patio that wraps around this old building, so plenty of seating there. And then they've got two, what are these things called? I guess awnings?
Yes.
Two big awnings with
they look kind of like carports.
1, 2, 3, 4,
like, you see on your driveway.
Yeah, and each big awning has, it looks like 10 picnic tables, under each one, and then they've got like cornhole and other little like yard games.
And there's 2 more tables over there by the fence.
Oh yeah, there's several. There's a few others that are not covered. So if you're somebody who's like, oh no, I like to be in the direct sun.
I love
sitting
sweating
on the planet of the sun.
That's the same truck, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so it is. They're really getting busy. You've probably seen several people walking past us. And Old Town Spring, it's just such a lovely walk. Every time I come here, because sometimes, like when Heath works on Sunday, if I really don't have anything to do at the house, I like to just come to Old Town Spring and just walk around for a couple of hours.
And she'll park here because they're closed.
Right? Or
on Sundays.
There are several little parking lots too. They are ran by donation only, which I was like, well, I donated my car to be parked here. I'm so mean. But you can donate whatever you feel like to park there. I'm just cheap because I've grown up in Spring. I've heard all the stories of who owns the Spring area, and anyhow,
And the backstory.
Yeah,
That's for another channel.
That's
another channel, actually.
That's definitely another channel. So yeah, I don't ever put the donation in when I park because anywho, but I'll go park over there, and there's just so many lovely areas that are shaded and such a historical, like again, when we did the ghost tour with Renee, I really learned a lot of stuff that happened in the late 1800s in this town. And some of the places that, I like to go and just kind of like chill out, and then hearing the backstory. So I still kind of wonder, because, when you do a ghost tour, of course, they're going to
embellish
a lot. And I'm like, well, because when I go to this place that he called the, was it like the most horrific things where people were tortured, I was like, I have visited here so many times, and it just felt so peaceful to me. And several cats live there. So I'm like, well, if animals enjoy being here, and I've always felt peaceful here, is there really all of these tortured souls existing? That's my thoughts. I was like, well, I still like it.
Makes for a good story, at least.
Yeah, it does make for a good story. But I did enjoy like sitting there and just relaxing, and so there's several of those, and of course I get my coffee, and it's just a nice town. So hopefully, if you're coming on the cruise, this might interest you, to go to Old Town Spring on Saturday, get your steps in, walk around, see really neat stuff. Of course, there are, your carby places. There, when I was walking, I saw a sweet shop, and I know the one, I think it's Emma's, she does, she has homemade fudge and stuff. I don't know why that's always so popular, do fudge. But I saw lots of neat, there's this one place, they have like all kinds of, I walked in at one time, they do huge rocks and crystals, like the 4 or 5 foot tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that you'll see like rich people, and I was like, oh, what is it? And this is why rich people put in their homes, because they're like $5,000-$6,000. I was like, okay, this store's out of my price range.
I can't even afford to walk in the store.
I know, and it was very crowded, which made me extra nervous, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this. But they have a real pretty garden there, where they have like a little statue of like Bigfoot and different things like that in their garden. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Oh, that's cool too. Also, another thing, the patio of the outdoor area is also dog friendly. We've seen 3 people walk in with their dogs.
Yes. Oh, they're so sweet. So yeah, I enjoy Old Town Spring. If you're somebody who likes to see old towns, and I think it's pretty well preserved. Like there are still a lot of the houses or shops are a lot of the original stuff.
Original structures.
Yeah, and the Old Town Spring, given their flaws, one of the good things they do is really try to work to preserve this old town. So at least the people on the committee understand the importance of preserving our history, good or bad. So they do work hard at doing that. So even Corkscrews building is an old building. So
isn't this their second location?
Yeah.
They started as a food truck, right?
Yeah. Up in near the Woodlands.
Okay.
We went there a few times, and then they got this place. So yeah, if you enjoy going to like really old towns and just, you know, to me that has a different feel versus going to like some of these new shopping centers. This just feels like you're going back in time, but with your modern conveniences, sensibilities.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I know we have talked a lot this morning. What else did you want to say?
I think I've pretty much covered it. I mean, everything's going good. I mean, I told her this morning I noticed I was refilling my pill box for all my pills, for, you know, all my meds. I did miss one dose of my my MS medicine this week. I think it was like Wednesday, because when I picked up my little pill bottle, the daily planner or whatever, I heard something rattling around, and I think it was Wednesday last week. And there's that one pill, and there's the smallest pill I have, and for whatever reason I missed it. So that may explain why I had some little issues this week a little bit, but for the most part I felt good.
Yeah, I didn't know you were having any issues.
I didn't either, really, but I mean, I'm a little tired, but I don't know if that really helps with that. But
I mean, it could, yeah, maybe.
But I just noticed that when I eat right, I feel better. That's why I recorded it. You'll see it here in a little bit. I did not eat breakfast this morning per se. You know, I usually have my sausage and my eggs and my cheese, but today I just had the eggs. So, but y'all see that here in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and roll you all that footage right now. For breakfast this week, back to my old standard. I had a link of sausage, my hard-boiled eggs, and some string cheese. And for lunch this week, I'm having some more of that Stewp. I just dropped in a big old hunk of hamburger meat into what I had left over from last week, and I added a full bag of fajita vegetables, and then I just topped it with some melted cheese, sour cream, chunky avocado, diced red onions, and some cherry tomatoes. Of course, I'm gonna have some chicharrones too. And for dinner this week, we're having bone-in ribeye, and of course, we're gonna have our stuffed mushrooms and jalapeños. And tonight, the wonderful Warden topped them with pepperoni, and I'm finishing off my spicy coleslaw. And I'll be rotating in a few different side dishes throughout the week. I also forgot to add that we're having a avocado crema to top the steak with. So, I got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, gosh.
What do you want first?
Always say the bad news, because then I can
Look forward to the good.
Afterwards when I find out.
Well, the bad news is we had planned on staying home and eating at home dinner at home all week. And then somebody discovered that there's a one-night only thing at Buffalo Wild Wings. They're having the buy one get one free. So I told the little lady that, hey, we need to go out tonight. I said, I know it's not Wing Wednesday, but we need to go get some wings. And I feel like we're double bonus, because I have some gift cards. I have a gift from my mother, and then we have another gift card here from, I don't remember why we had it, but we had a little bit of money left over on it, so we'll use the smaller one tonight and to get rid of it, and then it'll leave us a little left over on the other one Mother gave us.
Wow, this is how come like we never go out, because it's after 5 and the school bus is running. I didn't know that
they ran this late.
Yeah, that seems really late, doesn't it?
I feel bad for the kids. But then again, they probably don't go in till late.
I mean, I hope not. 5 o'clock? Jeez, that's like working a full-time job as a kid.
Well, it feels like that anyways, especially that was my big problem when I was going to school, was that I spent, all day long at school dealing with all that stuff. And then they tell, oh, by the way, here's all this homework you got to do once you get home, too. I'm like, no, I'm tired of doing all this. I want to go home and play my video games. Leave me alone. I don't know why I failed everything and I had to repeat my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm. Well, and those look like high schoolers, so they must, I guess.
Well, technically, I didn't repeat my sophomore year. I was never a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
I failed freshman, so I was a freshman twice, and then I made enough credits. I was a junior, and then I was a senior, and then I was out.
That seems like
me alone.
Some crazy math there.
Some guerrilla math.
Well, which is so funny because we're so opposite, because I actually took most of my freshman classes when I was in middle school because I was advanced enough to get the
I was advanced
credit.
too. I knew not to do all that garbage.
I enjoyed it.
I got better things to do with myself, you nerd.
I liked it.
I know you do. That's why I love you. You do all the hard work, and I get to have all the fun.
Yeah, but I had all the fun because guess what? My senior year, all of my classes were almost electives because it was either you took a college level class, which several people were like, don't do it because it isn't worth it. Now looking back, I probably should have gotten college credit.
Well,
but so I got to do a lot of elective and kind of blow off classes. So most of the time I only went to school half a day.
I did too. And we had a closed campus, but because I was in tech theater, there was like a handful of us that had special passes from our teacher that let us leave campus so we could buy stuff for the show. We had to buy props and different things.
Now people are thinking when you say buy stuff, they're thinking something else that you were buying.
Okay, buy pieces. We needed costumes, pieces for the set, lighting, because I worked lights and sound as well.
Oh, wow.
And we built the set. And what I loved about that class too is my teacher was actually the one that helped design the actual auditorium. And then it was only his class that was allowed to work lights and sounds. Anybody that wanted to use the auditorium for any event, we had to work it for them.
Aww.
So we were the special class.
Oh, you were special.
Well, that's why I like laughing at people too. Like, well, yeah, because even honor students are still considered special education. That's the way it's termed. That's the way they write it up.
Oh, yeah?
It's still special ed.
Maybe that was just your school. Maybe that's what they told you.
No, that's Texas. You don't know how we are in Texas.
Don't you like how we're matching? Like it's
not planned. And mine's a little darker.
A little. I think it's just a shade different.
Right?
Mine's supposed to be purple.
Because I'm a little different.
Oh, I know. Mine's supposed to be purple.
Mine's just
it's
maroon.
From that Abita beer. Shout out if anybody ever drink Abita. I love that beer actually. The Purple Haze. Remember?
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
That's why it threw me off whenever I found the Bang energy drinks when they have a Purple Haze flavor.
I know. That's
I was like,
hilarious.
wait. Is it alcoholic?
Probably people are like, Purple Haze. Oh, like for Bang? No, it's for beer. Like that's how much we enjoyed. We went to the actual brewery in Louisiana, remember?
Yeah.
And then we went to that mystery house in Louisiana.
What I thought was funny also, the first time we were on a cruise and you wore that shirt, and some lady walked up to you and started scratching her head and messing with her eyes. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with your shirt's messing me up.
Yeah, because she was like, dang, I must have been drinking too much because I really have a hard time reading your shirt.
Let's see if I can show them how the, well, I don't know if it looks good or not, but we'll show that. You know what? That's going to be the thumbnail at the very beginning of the video.
Oh, gosh.
Now it'll be a little throwback.
But yeah, so we're on our way because Heath insisted.
I can't pass up a good deal. Like I said, we got a gift card and it's a BOGO. So
yeah, and it's not BOGO for 50% off. It's actual real buy one get one free.
Yes. So, and it only happens on Tuesday night. This Tuesday only, though, right?
Yeah, it said only today. Yeah. It was like in the app. So if you do like Buffalo Wild Wings, if you haven't already, download their app because you get rewards and they'll have special offers. So in there, that was one of the offers was to then activate for a real buy one get one free.
And if y'all don't know it or not, and both of us love our coupons, we'll use a coupon on a coupon if it'll save us some money.
Yeah.
So we always hit these kind of deals up. Like even pre-keto, I think that's probably why we were so messed up metabolically and everything. Because we like joined every single restaurant group in the area.
Oh yeah.
And got all kinds of deals on it. And then like there was this one pizza joint about a half hour from us or whatever. You sign up for their rewards club, and then they would send you a coupon for a free pie, a large,
yeah,
one topping, an 18-inch large pizza on your birthday.
Yeah.
We made sure we got that. And
yeah, we both got that.
Yeah, we each got one.
Birthdays.
Yeah, and then there were several other restaurants that would give you like free entrees on your birthday.
Oh yeah, and
or really big discounts on them at least.
And then a lot of times, like if we went to some schmancy restaurant, it would of course be one of our birthdays or our anniversary. Remember?
Well, you know how to fill it in, right, on your on the reservation.
Right, so you
they
would
don't know. They don't check your card.
Get like a free, whatever.
Or either like they would either give us a dessert, an appetizer, or at least a cocktail.
Yeah. So that always, because at one hotel in Louisiana, New Orleans, my favorite hotel, the Hotel Monteleone. So
that place is pretty pimp.
If you have stayed there. If not, what is your favorite hotel in New Orleans? I do prefer to be near the French Quarter.
Yes.
But if you go there for your anniversary or birthday, you get a free cocktail because one of their big attractions is their bar. It's called, what is it, Circus Bar?
Yeah, something like that.
And the bar actually it rotates.
And it doesn't matter how many drinks you have, it's still going to rotate.
Yeah. So that was always fun. And we did that a few times. So, yeah, we do have drinks on occasion, y'all. We might have one on the cruise. What do you think?
Yeah, I might have two. I have two hands.
But,
like I always said, my favorite beer is free and free life.
Oh, I know. But I'm excited, y'all. If you are going on the cruise, like a lot of companies give stuff. Just like if you went to any keto event, you get swag, right? So you're going to get tons of swag on the cruise. And since we're right near the cruise hotel, then we said, hey, you just use our address because, the cruise organizers don't live here in Houston. So I'm getting all this stuff shipped in, and I'm just telling y'all, you're going to be so excited. I am loving all of the swag that we've been getting so far.
I'm very excited. The boxes are stacking up in our front room.
They are.
What's really handy for them coming to pick it up and all, because we're only like 15-20 minutes away from the hotel. And then the hotel to the airport is how far? About another 15-20 minutes maybe, depending on traffic.
The hotel to the airport?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the airport vicinity. Yeah. So it's maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's even better.
Depending on which terminal you come in. Now, that's if you go into Intercontinental.
Yes.
So I know like 2KK and some other people said it was cheaper for them to fly into Hobby. So just to give y'all a heads up, if you're looking, I mean, you price out what you want. My personal opinion, Hobby is a very old terminal, very dated, like the 1970s airport.
Yes.
Very small, like what you would have seen in a Stephen King movie.
Yes.
Very small.
We're not opinionated about it or nothing.
And it is on the south part of Houston.
Yes.
And it's in a very, very busy area. So,
it's very congested.
It's very congested. So, like, for example, up here, Intercontinental is, of course, it is the international airport, but it's a whole airport complex. So you've got all the big, like, it's huge, right? It's several different terminals. Some people do get lost because they're like, do I go to C, D, E, which one? But other than that, then they have the area parking places, and then they have the hotels right there. And then so when you get out of the airport, you just take a shuttle right there to like your
terminal. area. No.
Your hotel.
Oh, okay.
Wherever you're staying, it's just right there. It's a short ride, like 5-10 minutes, right? And you're not having to like get out in Houston. Basically, the only traffic you get there is airport traffic.
Mm-hmm.
With Hobby, keep this in mind. Now, it's on the south part of town, so just to travel from Hobby to the north part, you're looking at about an hour, depending on when your flight arrives. So, like, if your flight arrives at 4, anytime between 4 and 6, you're looking at probably at least an hour and a half travel time.
Just right there,
maybe
rush hour.
even longer because of rush hour. And with Hobby, it's just kind of this airport off the side of this road. That it's a busy road. And so as soon as you exit there, you're immediately put into Houston traffic. Like, there's no airport vicinity area. You're in Houston. And so if you're gonna like rent a car, just keep that in mind. You're gonna be right there in Houston traffic immediately. So and you're dealing with, and the area is not a nice area.
Yeah, you might have heard about it on the news. It's one of those areas where they call it at gunpoint.
No, it's not quite that bad. But I would say be cautious. Wow.
That dude tried to squeeze in on us on the right there, and we went from a 2-lane down to a 1-lane here, and he tried to squeeze in before us.
So just be cautious. Like, if you are flying into Hobby, if you're renting a car, be aware of your surroundings and just be cautious when you're driving, and just kind of get, like, especially if you're renting a car, get familiar with the car before you leave the airport area, the airport itself, because once you hit that traffic, it's game on. And Houston drivers like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be forgiving. They're going to be like, hey, you better be floored it if you're planning to go anywhere.
Because y'all may have heard me say it before, but one of my favorite stories about Houston is remember that famous race car driver, AJ Foyt? He's from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
He said the most dangerous thing he's ever done. Now, this man drove like, 200-300 miles an hour on the racetrack, right? He said the most dangerous thing he's ever done was driving Houston traffic.
Mm-hmm. And like right now, we're about to enter into a lot of traffic. So that's why we say, I'm actually not. So when I said anytime on Friday, or anytime you fly into to Hobby, rather.
Yeah.
If you're flying if you arrive between 4 and 6, you're going to hit rush hour. Actually, if you're flying in on Friday and you arrive anytime between 3 and 6, you're going to hit rush hour, because Fridays, a lot of people also get off earlier. The traffic's just horrible on Fridays, 3 o'clock on. So just kind of keep that in mind, especially if you're not used to a big city. Remember, Houston is the 4th largest city in the U.S., tied with Chicago.
And we forgot to mention, too, about driving in Houston. We love our tollways. We have, 6 of them?
I lost count.
And actually, one of them actually empties into our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Basically. What we call it the easy tag. That's what we use.
Yeah.
And then they took out the actual stop and pay, so everything's drive-through now. You just blow through it. And if you don't have the easy tag, they're going to flag your car and send you a bill in the mail.
Yep.
And I don't remember what the price is now with the easy tag. But I know it's like $1 or $2 more if you just blow through it.
Well, and but if they're doing a rental vehicle, I think the rental charges separate fees.
Yes.
So just kind of
Keep that in mind.
Cautious of that. Or if you are driving, make sure you choose that option to avoid tolls.
Yes, when you're punching your thing in your GPS, you put that in.
Because it will push you onto tolls constantly. Like, we're about to get on a toll right now. Like, we probably drive a toll almost any time we go anywhere in Houston.
We're sitting on the tollway right now.
In traffic.
And I don't know if it's going to help you or not, because there's 2 roads that circle around Houston. Mm-hmm. We call it the 610 loop that goes around downtown, basically, like the outer perimeter. Mm-hmm. And then around that is a bigger loop called Beltway 8.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 biggest loops in town.
Yeah.
If you can drive on that, it's going to take you a while to get around town.
Yeah, and the Beltway is actually, it's a toll, but it is one way to get to the Intercontinental Airport.
Yes.
It is a faster way of getting to that airport, but again, it's a tollway.
Yes.
And then one other thing with Hobby, I also heard that they do offer shuttles from Hobby to Intercontinental.
Oh, that's nice.
So you'll want to check on that. And again, I don't know what the time frame would be for that, and then where they take you, if they just take you to the airport, and then you got to go get then to the hotel, or how that works. So make sure you look into all that. I just say that just because I know flights to Hobby are generally less expensive because it's going to be like Spirit, Frontier, those cheaper airlines. But just kind of keep in mind the traffic, the time with the traffic, and you know, if you're gonna Uber or Lyft. I know Uber, when I priced it a while back, and these could change, it was about $75 to Uber from Hobby to the hotel. So just keep that in mind, please. And then I don't know what the shuttle is.
Right.
So you'll want to check all of that out if you choose to go that route. So then you'll just want to compare, okay, is the flight, once I add in all these other fees and my time, is it worth the difference? Because especially if you're flying in on Friday, we want you to come to our barbecue meetup, but I'd hate for you to think you're arriving at Hobby at 5 and you'll still be able to make ours when you might not
get to our house by 8.
Yeah.
With the way everything's going.
Like, I'm just serious.
That's
like,
Houston time.
Houston traffic, like, you think, oh, okay, yeah, that's only like, 20 miles. That shouldn't take long. Oh, yeah.
That's what it looks like on the map, but...
Right. It's totally different once you're here, especially at rush hour. Now, if you happen to come, like, in the morning after 10 a.m., then you'll be fine. There's usually not much traffic. And if you also come, I would say between 10 and 2, you should make decent time, probably looking at about an hour to get to Hobby to Intercontinental.
I know back when I was working in construction, I used to work on that side of town. And I know if I didn't leave that part of town if I didn't leave before 3 p.m., I wasn't getting home till 6.
Yeah.
Or later.
Yeah.
Because I'd just be stuck in traffic the whole time.
Yeah, and especially...
I'd rather wait and work longer and stay on the clock. So...
Yeah, and then the thing is with that, like we're saying, just basic traffic, you're looking at an hour, hour and a half. If there's a wreck, I mean, God forbid, if there's a wreck, then who knows how long. I have literally, like, when I used to work in the Woodlands, normally my morning commute was 20, 25 minutes. One day there was a wreck, and it seriously took 4 hours. 4 hours for me to go, not even 20 miles.
Now, I don't know how it is where y'all live, but here we don't base everything on mileage. When everybody asks you how far you live or where we going, how far away is it, we tell them in minutes or hours.
Yeah.
We tell them in time.
Yes.
So, that's about an hour away. Oh, that's about 30 minutes away. That's how we judge it, because it's based on the traffic.
Yeah, so if you ask somebody, okay, how far is it to Intercontinental, they'll be like, oh, you're probably, like if you're at Hobby, they'll probably be like, oh, an hour or two.
Because like where I grew up in Alvin, that's about an hour south of me. And I have friends that live down the way a little further south of there. And we don't hang out with each other. It's very often, it's very rare when we get to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Because they live so far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all tell everybody we live in the Houston area, but we don't visit the Houston area, really. And that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Because it's just too much of a headache because we're doing this.
Yeah. Like,
sitting in traffic.
Seriously, y'all.
But I thought we would have went to the one over here closer to the house, but whatever.
Which one?
I thought there was one over here all by that Target. And we've gone to it before. Or maybe I'm just confused now.
The one that we've gone to most is the one right here off of 99.
I guess it just threw me off because we're usually there by now.
Well, I know. There's obviously a wreck. So.
Now we get to add on and give them a little more story time.
They might be tired. And then you were like, oh, we don't want to give an hour and a half video. Well, this is how you do it.
I know. Because I had originally planned, I didn't go into big, long, drawn-out things about what I ate this week. Because I'm eating the same thing every night, so I just did one video of each meal. But now we're getting this for you. You're welcome. That's why I said good news, bad news.
Yeah, but you're wrong about the bad news.
This was the bad news right here, is the traffic. Good news is we're getting wings. I've been craving wings, honestly.
Maybe. They might be closed by the time we get there.
But this backed up, especially on the tollway and the feeder. Yeah, there was a wreck.
Well, this is the one that, like, you merge to get on from here. To get onto the toll, like, it makes you get on the tollway. So, but yeah.
Because, see, we don't really crave chicken all that often, but I constantly crave wings.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but just wings just...
It's because they're fatty.
Yeah, I guess so, but they freaking love them.
Because I heard somebody else saying they always crave chicken thighs.
Huh.
And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because chicken thighs are so fatty.
Well, that's what my grandfather used to do. He used to buy the chicken, the leg quarters, which is thigh and the leg together.
Oh.
And he would grill them. But he would take a big old pot of barbecue sauce. He'd take the whole leg quarter and dunk it into, instead of brushing it on, lathering it on there, he would dunk the whole thing in and throw it back on the grill.
Wow.
But I wanted to do that. That's an awful lot of wasted barbecue sauce, because I don't want to use it up the next day or two or nothing, you know? It's just...
Yeah, I wish these people scissored correctly.
Right?
Like, come on, people.
Oh, wow.
We should be scissoring.
Looks like there's rope hanging off the bottom of that. There's just lines on the back bumper of this
yeah, because
this
it's
bus.
Like,
and
warning,
it looks,
warning.
Yeah, but it looked like ropes. I was like, are they dragging the kids? What is this? Hang on, Timmy. Let's go.
Yeah. So they don't scissor here very well.
No, they don't. They don't do a lot of stuff well here.
Well, I think in general people are like that.
Still, they're not as bad as it was in Washington, D.C.
That's for sure.
The most impressive drivers we've seen over the whole country, honestly, was New York City. I really enjoyed driving there.
Which is funny because I was the one mostly driving.
That's why I enjoyed it.
As far as like having a lot of people in a small area, that was a very, it really wasn't bad to drive in Manhattan.
They were organized. They helped each other. Right.
The thing is, here in, like somebody, I saw like a TikTok where they explained it really well. Like in New York City, like if there was a wreck, everybody just goes around. Like think of how ants are, you know, just, okay, we just keep going. But in here, and they don't care about lines on the road. Like, hey, if we need to get over, we're going to get over into this shoulder. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. But here, it's like, okay, no, we have to stay between the line. Oh, there's a wreck. We need to stop and watch everything and see why there's a wreck. And, oh, should we start driving now? Because there's, okay, I guess I'm past the wreck, so I guess I can drive, and then they floor it.
Let me go ahead and eat my sandwich now.
Yeah. And then, you know, you can't scissor or let people in, so if one of the lanes is closed, then the people in the other lane are like, no, you can't get over it here. And
not in my lane.
I know.
My watch.
And so then that one lane is way backed up, and then the other lanes are backed up because they, you know, they're not letting anybody in. And then when somebody gets in, and it's just Houston traffic. And
Fun
Houston
times.
is such a drive city. So that's one thing. If you're coming to Houston and say you're either driving or you're going to rent a car, or if you're just flying into Intercontinental or Bush, whatever it's called, and you're like, oh, okay, I can just walk to whatever. No, Houston is a drive city, not a walk city. So it's plus where you're staying, where the hotel is. I mean, there might be, I think there's a, what is that thing, like Greasy Spoon, what was it called? There's like one of those, I think, not too far from the hotel.
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is.
But it's like a Greasy Spoon. And not a Denny's. It's like something like that, though.
Sizzler?
No. It might actually even be called Greasy Spoon. But there's like that. And there's not really any shopping because these are hotel airports. Like, it's just for people who are flight in and need a place to hang overnight. So if you want to go do like shopping or sightseeing or eating at, a halfway decent restaurant, you're going to have to drive to get there.
Yes. And then how far is it from the hotel airport area to the actual port?
So from there, because the port's in Galveston, y'all.
Because a lot of people have talking about, they were telling us about how they thought about driving to the port.
So I always say from my house, which is basically from the airport, it takes about an hour, hour and a half. Again, depending on traffic, because it's sometimes up to 2 hours, honestly, just depending on, when you're going.
Especially if they're having an event on the beach, too.
Right. So, yeah, if you're going to drive from the hotel to Galveston, you're looking at about, I would plan on 2 hours just to give you enough cushion.
Yes.
To get there so that you're not concerned about, traffic or delays or anything else. Honestly, in my opinion, it is far cheaper and less stressful just to, leave your car at the hotel, pay for, I think it's actually free if you're staying there, and just take the shuttle bus with all of us down there.
That's what we're doing it because of all that.
Yeah, because then
we're
not
going
only
as a group.
Do you not have to deal with the traffic, but you also get to hang out with everybody right then. That's like an awesome hour to spend visiting, chit-chatting, having fun, singing Kumbaya.
Because in fact, y'all, what we're planning on doing, we're even going to take an Uber from our house to the hotel, so we don't have to mess with any of that either.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll just be so much easier.
Yeah, so we'll just, Uber over there, and it'll just be so much better. Then I don't have to even pay to leave my car there. It's just be cheaper just to Uber it. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, so just plan on, if you're coming here, it's going to be a drive, so maybe work out with other people, like if you're have roommates or anybody else you're visiting, and just be like, hey, this Saturday I want to do this and this. Can we car ride or carpool? I mean, we did a lot of that in Orlando. We just carpooled. We would get it like a 6-person Uber.
Or a Lyft.
Yeah.
Because we have both here in Houston, and in fact, Shelly and I both have both of the apps on our phone, and what we'll do is we'll both open them up, and whoever has the least, the cheaper and
cheaper rate.
The cheaper rate and the closest. Sometimes we pick the closest one too.
Yeah.
Whoever's in the area.
Yeah. But
because like again, we like
just kind of plan on that, and we're going to be doing videos. I know we keep saying this, but we definitely plan on doing a video talking about what to do in Houston. So if you are coming early, what?
I was going to say we could just turn the camera around and show them all the traffic so we can scare them.
So we can tell y'all, things that you could do, especially if you're coming a couple days early. We'll discuss what all there is to do, because there is a lot to do in Houston. Just plan on you're going to have to
drive,
ride share, or have a vehicle. So just kind of decide on, what it is you want to do, but we'll go over that. It'll be fun. And then, of course, make sure you are coming to our barbecue meetup, which is that Friday night. So definitely go to Hungry Horde headquarters on Facebook. Please RSVP to the event. I did pin the event to the top of our Facebook group, so I'd really appreciate it, just so we can, get accurate numbers. Please go there and RSVP, and then I know it just lets you as a single person, so if you are bringing somebody, please RSVP, and then make a comment and say it's me plus however many.
Yes, please.
Just help us on, figure it out, how much food, because I don't want to end up running out of food. Like, oh my gosh, that is a huge faux pas.
Because I have 2 briskets set aside, and I'm trying to determine if I need to pick up a 3rd or 4th.
I know. So
I don't know how hungry you all are going to be.
They're going to be starving, especially for some Texas brisket. They're going to be like so hungry. So I know it. So yeah, so we got a lot going on. I'm excited. Like I can't even believe
we're almost bypassing KetoCon.
I know.
And just driving right ahead to the cruise.
I know. So who is going to KetoCon?
Because that's going to be the next event.
Yeah, that is. So let us know if you're going to go to KetoCon, because we definitely want to meet up with you if you are going. So please comment, let us know. And if you ever see us out in public, don't feel shy. Come up and say hello. Like
hello.
we're not, you know, what is the word, like
bashful?
Food? No, you know, where you're
aloof.
That's it. I don't know why I wanted to say foot.
I don't know.
But there's an Outback here now. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. But then we don't go to Outback that often, so.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
On occasion when we want a steak, but.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, when we do though, we go to the one of the Woodlands though.
Yeah, but now we could just go to this one. Usually there's not all this traffic.
Right.
So that would be good.
Yes.
Which one?
Right there. Just pull up and park. We're good.
Well, I didn't know if I wanted that very last one.
Yeah.
Then no car would be beside me on one side.
Right. But yeah, we just parked. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I'm going to walk in, and we'll show you what we're going to eat. And now they just delivered our wings. And y'all, I always order a side of pickles, and of course we always bring our Redmonds. Friday lunch. And I just got home from the grocery store. First thing I did was start a new pot of my hard-boiled eggs. I do the 5-5-5 method in my Instant Pot. This is a perfect time to put them in as soon as I get home. And then they can be cooking while I'm doing all my other stuff. And so what I got here is a cheeseburger topped with some red onion and my Keto Chow barbecue sauce, some of our homemade pickles, the rest of those grape tomatoes, and a link of jalapeno sausage. We don't have any bacon to go with this. I didn't want to open the package. We're going to be using that one for dinner tonight. But this is my lunch for Friday. Saturday morning breakfast. I slept in a little bit, and we're going to leave shortly to go eat lunch at one of our favorite barbecue joints. So I'm just gonna eat my eggs. Y'all all know how I have to eat my eggs every day for medicinal purposes. So I'm gonna eat my eggs while Shelly sleeps in a little bit longer. Alrighty folks, now we finally got our food. And this is the way they serve it to us. And I'm gonna just take the plate off and y'all can see all of that goodness. There's the brisket, the jalapeno sausage, a little bit of the pulled pork, and some burnt ends, and of course the little bit of accompaniments.
Right.
Alrighty folks, we just finished eating. Dang, that was so busy in there.
So good.
So good.
I didn't know somebody was waiting on our parking spot because they ran out of parking.
Right. It's a very, very small lot, and then even smaller on the side over here. I've never even seen that parking lot before. That's a spot. We drive by this on this road all the time, but I've never paid attention to the parking over here.
Yeah, we've had to park way over here, and then there's a small little parking lot you could try, but sometimes we've gotten here like at 11 and we can't find anything.
Oh, wow.
And remember one time we had to park over here at this donation parking lot.
And then, so...
Oh, it says $5 parking?
Wow.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
And then, so y'all just seen all of our luscious food this week.
Oh,
now,
gosh.
there was a picture of the chocolate cinnamon rolls. But I don't have a video on that for y'all because I don't have time. I'm going to try and get this all posted and put up before we actually begin the cook-along tonight. And stay tuned because we're going to have that video coming out very soon on the recipe on how to do these cinnamon rolls. We just wanted to hold off and reward all of our loyal channel members first.
Yeah. Well, so I guess is there a car coming out?
No, go. No, well,
No, there it is.
Okay, go, because now you're just blocking the road.
Ooh, shit. Ugh.
Sorry,
He
y'all.
put his signal on. Like, how did I know he was turdied at the last minute, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing here. There's
no stop lights. There's only a stop sign, and then you got other drivers that aren't very well equipped.
well, and the stop signs are only for the other streets. It's not for the main streets, so those people don't have any stop signs. So you just kind of have to, and then it's hard to see around all the cars parked. But we made it out in one piece.
Right. I'm so full. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to post everything. I mean, I need to go home and take a nap.
But yeah, it was very good, and the chocolate cinnamon rolls, oh my gosh, those are so good. That's what we're having tonight. And probably some more leftover barbecue.
Yeah, because we thought we were gonna eat it all, but now we have leftover because we were gonna have some sausage, or the Purnell's breakfast sausage with it as our dinner tonight. But now why? We just eat these leftover from the barbecue.
Yeah, I figured we would have leftovers. We generally do. I mean, I order enough so that basically we end up having at least one more meal out of it.
Yeah.
Just the way to do it. I mean, if we're going to come all the way here and stand in line and stuff, I don't want it to just last for one meal.
Right. That's true, too.
So, like, for both of us, just to give you an idea of how much maybe you should order, that was considered a pound of brisket. That was a half pound of pulled pork. And then each one link of sausage is considered a half pound. So we got two because I got both of the sausages.
Nice.
So that just kind of gives you an idea. All of that lasts us at least 2 meals. I mean, sometimes
3.
Sometimes we could get, well, 2.5. He will eat on it like for a couple breakfasts. But yeah, so if you're coming, and they're really good about like when, like for example, the brisket, it'll have a sign up there. 1/4 of a pound equals 1 to 2 slices. A half a pound is, 3 to 4, and then a full pound is 4 to 6 slices.
So we also got the burnt ends, but there's no leftovers for that. We always go for that first. That gets devoured first.
Yes, and they don't sell per se burnt ends there. It's if they have it when you order it, then they'll slice them up. And so that's what I like, because sometimes when you order burnt ends at a restaurant, they come already sauced.
Yes.
Well, because theirs, they don't make burnt ends specifically.
Because that's really a Kansas City barbecue thing.
Yeah.
And we're in Texas, so we do our version.
Yeah.
Or they do anyways.
Yeah, so their burnt ends aren't sauced, which to me, again, excellent brisket doesn't need a sauce.
Right.
And so I do enjoy if we can get their burnt ends. And I always order the brisket extra, 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 extra fatty. Like, if you think it's too fatty, go fattier.
And we always tell them, anywhere we go, any barbecue joint, we always tell them we want the end cuts.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that is the burnt end, but we want the bark. That is our favorite. We want fatty and barky.
Yes.
That's our favorite.
Ruff, ruff.
Yeah. That's our favorite part of the brisket.
So
and it's like
good.
every time we're in line and telling them that, it seems like the server or the attendant at the counter gets elated. And like, y'all know barbecue.
Oh my gosh. And the fatty
We always get
pieces.
compliments on that.
Yes. But the burnt ends or the end pieces they cut for us, like, we didn't even have to put our Redmond salt, because they definitely use plenty of salt in their crust.
Yeah.
But just I just wanted to sit there and let that burnt end just like
dissolve in your mouth.
Yes, it was so freaking good. Just the fat, you could just see the little pools of the fat, like the meat's so glossy because there's just all that little fattiness. Oh, it's so good, you guys.
MS Journey / Cruise Talk / Barbecue Talk.
I know, right? That's what you should title it. Emma's Journey Cruise Talk.
Well,
Barbecue Talk.
well,
Old Town
it is
Spring.
what I eat in a week.
Yeah, historical talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you had an overall pretty good week,
Yeah,
right?
I did, yes.
We didn't say this at the beginning, but how did your DDPY go this week?
Fun as usual.
Because I heard Emily saying she hates the red hot courses.
Red Hot Core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most difficult one. I think that's the one, if I remember correctly, that ends up being like 45 minutes.
I know, I thought some of those were only like 15, but they whip your butt so much that you're like, I prefer the 30 minutes over that 15-minute
Some
one.
of them, I get them a little confused. There's so many different variations on it.
Right. But yeah, I think you had a good week this week. Right. And excellent food. Just kind of rinse and repeat a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I was planning to do my Stewp again this week, but then when I was at the store yesterday, I got hamburger patties on sale.
Yeah.
The preformed patties, so we're gonna make up a bunch of those next week. So, but that'll be on next week's. But we're back in our neighborhood. That's how quick it is to get, how close we are.
Yeah.
But so we're almost back to the house, and I just want to thank y'all for tuning in and even caring what we're doing.
Right.
We appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
And please make sure you stay tuned to see all of our wonderful channel members. Please stay tuned to watch all of our wonderful channel members. Thank y'all so much.